3 of the Cavs-Raptors series became the Toronto version of an Oscar-winning film. Because while both Scotty Barnes and R.J. Barrett went for 33 on Thursday night, it was second-year man Jamison Battle who fueled a fourth-quarter run that broke open a tie game. Battle saw mop-up minutes in Game 1, didn't play in Game 2, had played 7 scoreless minutes in Game 3, and then he went off. It was one battle after another. He had 14 fourth-quarter points, hit all 5 shots he took, 4 of those from deep, as the Raptors got on the board in this series. I caught up with Jamison Battle this morning. Jamison, can you tell me what the last 24, 48, 72 hours have been like in your life?
Yeah, it's been super cool. Obviously having a good performance in Game 3, but I think the biggest thing for me was just contributing to win and helping the team win. I think that's all I really care about, regardless of how many points I score, how much I play. I just want to see this team win, and I think seeing us win Game 3, seeing the momentum change a little bit, and bringing that into Game 4, that's our biggest focus, and that's my biggest focus as well.
You know, it's one of the things I love about playoff basketball is sometimes it's a guy whose name is not on the marquee who becomes the story, who hears 20,000 folks screaming his name and you're getting chest bumped by teammates. Can you just tell me what that was like on Thursday night?
Yeah, it was special. I mean, that's just the type of group we have, just the belief in everyone, regardless of if you're man 14 or you're man number 1. I think it's just being ready for that moment and being ready for the opportunity, regardless of where you are on the depth chart. You're always ready to go, and I think that's just professionalism that we have as a group, and that's just the family-oriented team we have, just because the belief in everybody is just so special. And then seeing that come to fruition and just being ready, staying ready, and just having an opportunity in a playoff game like that is it's pretty cool.
I do want to kind of walk through that end of third quarter into the fourth quarter thing. So Darko put you in the game late in the third quarter. Did you think it was okay for the rest of the quarter, or did you know, hey, when we go to the fourth in a 2-point game, I'm on the floor?
You know, I had no idea. I think the biggest thing for me is just trying to stay present, not really worrying about what's happened in the past or not really worrying about what's going to happen in the future, just remaining where my 2 feet are, and I think that's what I did, and that's what I tried to emulate, and I think that's what we try to emulate as a team as well. But just going in there when I'm on the floor, just trying to make an impact on defense, trying to make an impact on offense, and just bringing some juice for this team.
Everybody talks about the 3-pointers you hit, but how important was that floater you hit for your first bucket in terms of comfort level and confidence?
Yeah, I think it's just something that gets you going, and I think just the way Scotty orchestrated that, and that's just the type of player he is to put you in those types of positions. So for me, it was getting the screen, getting the switch, and then finding that opening and floating it over the top against Evan Mobley, and I think that's something that's an easy one that gets you going, and then from there it was just takeoff mode. When I had an open shot and it was ready to let it fly, and I think that's just the MO of shooters in this organization. Just when you're open, take the space, take the shot, and I think that's what Darko preached to us a few days before, just saying that we need to get more threes up, and when there was an opportunity, I knew I was going to get it up.
First experience in the playoffs, obviously. Not a whole lot of guys on your team have a lot of experience. What prepared you for the postseason, and what is the biggest difference between a regular season game and a postseason game from what you've seen now?
Yeah, I think one is just the atmosphere, but just the heightened competition. Understanding that, you have one series. You got to take it one game at a time within the series, and understanding that every game is important, and just from there you got to make the right adjustments, and you got to realize that every little thing matters. I mean, it's easy to say that in the regular season because there's 82 games, but really when there's 7 guaranteed games, if that, you know that there's so much important things that you have to look at, and it's all those little things, those minute details that really matter, and I think that's what we do a good job of from players, not only coaches, but just players. We all try to hone in on those little details to make sure that we're impacting winning. Everybody knows you're one of the great saxophone players in the NBA. Have you played for your teammates? I haven't played it. It sits under my bed back home in Minnesota, so there's a few times in the summer where I go back home, I got nothing else to do, I'll pull out the saxophone a little bit, but it's been a minute. I appreciate your time this morning. Good luck in Game 4 of this series, all right? Thank you, Ernie. Happy for that guy. Yeah. And again, that's one of the things I love, when somebody who's not the marquee name comes up here. Ayo Dosunmu last night goes for 43.
But the thing that's really cool about it, you showed he didn't get to play in Game 2. Like, players always whine about not getting playing time, and then when they get a chance to play, the moment's too big for them. him being ready to play, man, that's great for him. He put a lot of hard work into that.
So we're sitting on a 2-1 series, Kenny. Toronto has shot 50% or better in all 3 games. They've done this without their point guard Emmanuel quickly. What do you make of Toronto and where they stand in this series right now heading into game 4?
Well, the one thing about it, they have pressure release guys. Scotty Barnes can bring up the ball, as well as Brandon Ingram, as well as R.J. Barrett. So in terms of when you try to pressure them, they have 3 perimeter guys who are great ball handlers. And then you have Battle in to shoot the shot. So you had the perimeter covered in terms of spacing. I think that is one of the biggest things that I think Cleveland is not expecting is the size on that perimeter with Barnes and Ingram, and you bring in Battle, and you bring in all of these guys. They have, and R.J. Barrett, they have length and size. And R.J. Barrett is just having a hell of a series based on the fact that he is the mismatch that they can't cover. It's like if we put our best defender on Ingram, or Barnes, he gets loose. And he is 6'9", handles the basketball, really a guard. When he was a Knick, he was a 2 guard. And this is now, he's playing more of a 3 as well. But who do you put on him? But that size between Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, those are tough covers for all of those guys to defend.
He's averaging 26, shooting 64% in the series and 60% from 3. He's 9 out of 15. Meantime, Toronto's leading scorer is Brandon Ingram. He's done nothing in this series.
Yeah, he's, he has to know and understand in this moment. Kenny has always said this is where you make a name for yourself. He hasn't played well at all, really relying on that jump shot. I played with a lot of shooters that when they weren't scored, D. Scott, Glenn Rice, they would automatically put the ball down, get to the hole, get fouled, go to the free throw line, and then come back out. He hasn't showed up at all.
Cleveland's defense, little something lacking so far through 3 games. Last 2 games, 60 points in the paint allowed at least. Yeah. And again, Toronto shooting 50% in every game.
Well, I think Cleveland got kind of lackadaisical because they won the first 2 games pretty easily. And then the Raptors came out and punched them in the mouth with intensity and finished them off down the stretch. They ended up beating them kind of bad, actually. But this is, to me, it's a big game for Cleveland because, this is my team that come out of the East. They kind of relax. They have relaxed players. They have players. I've said the one thing, they don't have no killers. They're all really good players. But they don't have that one guy who's like a natural born killer, as I call it.
You call irritant as well? They don't have the irritant? So they don't have an irritant. Like, I always said that if you're going to have a good team, you got to have a crazy dude. They don't have that.
Yeah,
but Mobley, to me, is the guy, he's Defensive Player of the Year. He should take the challenge. And you know how I feel about Jared Allen. He's one of the most talented big guys in the league, but he's just a really nice guy.
He's had no double-doubles in the series, 2 offensive rebounds in 80 minutes.
I told you, I love his game, but he's one of those guys who's just a really nice guy. If he had a motor, he'd be one of the best players in the NBA. But today, this game to me, I know what I'm going to get from Donovan and James. To me, the big guys, Kenny say Barrett's a matchup. If you're the Defensive Player of the Year, you got to do like Rudy Gobert's doing. Like, I'm the Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to go against the joke and do my thing. To me, it's got to be Evan Mobley. But Allen and Mobley got to play well today and going forward if Cleveland's going to get out of the East.
You seeing a 2-2 series here? You seeing a 3-1 Cavs?
I mean, I hate when players switch up. We talk about the same thing every year when it comes to Donovan and James Harden. You got to step up in big moments. First 2 games, they played off each other very well. And, last game, one had 15, one had 18. James had 8 turnovers. That's not going to get it done. They know this, they understand it. Even though their defense was bad, Toronto was shooting 50%, they still won the first 2 games because, the other 2 guys from Cleveland, they score. So if they score the ball and play well, I think they should be able to done. It's hard when you're a superstar. You got to score, you got to get others involved, you got to play defense, you got to stay out of foul trouble. So for James and Donovan, they have to dominate offensively, period.
Costly win for Minnesota last night as they took a 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets. Dante DiVincenzo tore his Achilles early in that game. Guy who started all 82 games this season and now out for the rest of the playoffs. And then later in the first half, it's Anthony Edwards who came down awkwardly underneath the basket.
Oh,
Jeez.
And
Man.
so you saw the hyperextension on Edwards on the left knee. And now we're left to wonder what exactly is the status of Anthony Edwards for the rest of these playoffs. And just the man who can answer that question is Shams Charania, who joins us now. So, Shams, what's the latest on Ant?
Ernie, so Anthony Edwards had an MRI late last night in Minneapolis, and sources told me this morning that he has sustained a bone bruise in that left knee with that hyperextension. The good news for him, there's no ACL damage, there's no other ligament. It's not a serious structural issue, but this injury will sideline him for multiple weeks. So he's going to be out through the remainder of this series against the Denver Nuggets, and they're up 3-1. Obviously, last night losing your starting backcourt for the rest of this series. Now they're going to play on without Anthony Edwards, and he's going to start rest and rehab immediately. And guys, he had runner's knee in his opposite knee, the right knee, that he's had a PRP injection in, that he's had to really mitigate a lot of the swelling, the inflammation that's in that knee. So now it's the opposite knee that has this bone bruising injury that will now sideline him for at least 2 weeks.
Wow.
On another front, that game ended kind of in a strange way with McDaniels making the bucket, and he's charged by Joker, and I know the league's going to be going through all that video. Any idea of what punishments might be or when they might be forthcoming?
Ernie, what the league typically does is the day after an incident like this, they start their investigation process. That means reviewing the footage for sure, but that also means interviewing the people involved. So whether that's Nikola Jokic, Jaden McDaniels, we saw multiple players on both sides of the bench here. Rudy Gobert, Bones Highland, at least, and then there was Aaron Gordon and Jonas Valanciunas both leaving the Denver bench. And so what happens with both of them? But obviously, even the players that left the Denver bench, they weren't really involved in the vicinity of this situation. So the league is going to review all this. They're going to interview everyone involved like they always do and come into some kind of ruling here. But talking to people on both sides, there's obviously an expectation there's going to be some fines. Not sure if there's going to be anything more than that. Aaron Gordon's status, whether he gets suspended or not suspended, is very much up in the air with that calf injury.
We head to Portland, where the dancers are in full stride and where Malik Andrews is standing by.
Standing by, Ernie, or dancing by a little bit? But you're absolutely right. The story of this game here is Victor Wembanyama. So let's just walk through the timeline that Victor has gone through since he sustained that concussion on Tuesday, right? Remember that he has to be away from basketball games for 48 hours at least, and until both the league and the team doctors clear him. So on Wednesday, that's 24 hours after that concussion was sustained, that's when he was able to get on the bike. He was able to do a little bit of light cardio, and he's still doing 2 neurological tests per day. On Thursday, that's when he was able to start doing some non-contact basketball activities that then ramped up on Friday. So the San Antonio Spurs, they were actually hopeful that he was going to be available, that he was going to be able to play on Friday. Obviously, that's not what came to fruition, but it was a good sign that he was in the arena. It was an incredibly loud, rocking environment, and you know with head injuries, sometimes that's not advised. So the fact that he felt well enough to be able to do that, that says something. I saw Victor yesterday. He went to the team's film session. He was all smiles. He seemed to be in a really good mood. And it's looking like we're going to know about 10 o'clock whether or not he's going to be able to go for this game. My understanding is there is some level of optimism that he's going to be available. But again, remember, there are multiple people, multiple doctors, both on the team side and on the league side, that are eventually going to have to clear him if he's going to be able to play. They are very, very cautious when it comes to concussions here, but they're hopeful. In the meantime, what they saw from Dylan Harper, what they were able to see from Stephon Castle, that was really encouraging for San Antonio. And if you're able to add Victor back into that mix, they're really optimistic about their chances in this series, Ernie.
Malika Andrews, thank you very much, and great concentration given what's going on behind.
I'm joining the party now, Ernie. I'm going to join the party now.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Got it. Let's go, girl.
And you know what else? What else is really special? Is we'll be talking to your husband in the next segment. Dave McMenamin, your husband, will be joining us.
Make him do the move.
They was trying to battle us, Ernie.
Dance off with the Portland Trailblazers dancing team. We're ready.
Tell them they doing that dance routine wrong back there.
Everyone on Inside the NBA says y'all are rocking right now, and they're ready for a dance battle. They're ready to take you on, Chuck. It's you versus them.
Castle, Dylan Harper,
You know I love
sensational the other night.
Mr. Harper, a good friend of ours, better be worried, because his son is coming. He gonna be the best player in the family soon. To me, Castle, you know I love Castle.
Yes.
I mean, I started watching him when we were at UConn a couple years ago.
Breaking a sweat from that dance routine there, man. Working on me.
Lost a lot of weight, but you ain't in shape. Lost a lot of weight, but he ain't in shape.
You know the only thing I'm really thinking? The only thing I'm really thinking.
Bruno Mars concert last night.
Oh my God, I love me some Bruno Mars. But the only thing I'm thinking is which one of y'all gonna give me mouth to mouth?
Oh, no, that's all right.
I mean,
Kenny.
Closest.
I failed that class.
But Castle and Dylan, man, they got a bunch of really good players. I'm curious about the Wembanyama situation. Are they gonna play him or just give him a few more days off? Because it would be must play if they had a lost game 3.
Yeah.
But I wonder if because number one, they still got a good solid team with or without the Wembanyama. So I just wonder what their mindset is gonna be. Because they don't probably play again to Tuesday or Wednesday.
They'll play Tuesday.
They'll play Tuesday, so he'd have almost a week off, basically. So, but I hope he plays today because he's such a great kid. And like I say, they got a great medical staff down there, and they're going to make a good decision.
The Spurs took 2 out of 3 from them in the regular season. Wemby didn't play in any of those games.
Wow.
Go ahead.
I would like to see him play if he's 1,000% healthy. You know, one thing with the Spurs, aka the system, they're going to play the same way. So, the 2 young fellas out there playing, they're playing phenomenal. They always play that way, with or without Victor Wembanyama. They're confident now. They're super confident now. Portland has to make a lot of adjustments, but if I was San Antonio staff, like you said, Chuck, I would not play him this game, let him get a week off, and then we get back to the crib, get back to our doctors, hook him up with some of that icy hot. He'll be ready to go.
Dylan Harper, by the way, youngest in NBA history to score at least 25 off the bench.
Wow.
And as he did the other night when he had 27. So on the other side, we're seeing like a breakout performance for Scoot Henderson.
Yes.
Missed 51 games this season. And what's he scored right now in this season? 23 a night? And this is from a guy who in the regular season was scoring 14.
Yeah, what it is, Ernie, is in the playoffs, the scouting report is we're going to go under screens, not let him get in this scenario, in transition. So we don't want him in transition. We don't want him in that mid-range because he's so physical. That's where his 14 points a game come to. And this is when, and Shaq alluded to earlier, the regular season you make your name, the playoffs you make your fame. And because now the scouting reports go under the screen. And he's like, no, that is not the scouting report on me anymore. I worked on this all summer, and I've been knocking down shots from 3, and I also have a step-back 3 that I just wasn't using as much. And now, because he's playing more minutes, he's getting to show that he can now knock down the 3. And that was the only knock on him coming into the league. He was physical enough, he was athletic enough, he was strong enough, and it was like, can he knock down the 3 consistently to get to those things that he's great at? And that's what's happening in this series.
And he's 12 out of 23 from deep.
And you look at the good young teams in the NBA. Charlotte's got a good young team. The Atlanta Hawks got a good young team. Portland might be the best one out of the group. They got a bunch of really good young players, but we never show them. I don't know if they've been on national television at all. I watched them play last week against the Suns. I said, the Suns can't beat them. I said that going into the play-in. And I thought this would be a very good series. They're young. They got a really bright future. Coach Splitter's done a fabulous job.
He really has.
He's done a fabulous job, especially when all the noise was around that team. But so I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah.
You said an interesting stat. I didn't know they had beaten them all those times without Wemby.
Yeah.
That's a good nugget right there.
Meantime, Denny Abia's been
He's been
good.
amazing.
And also you got the veteran presence of a guy like Drew Holiday, who's
Yes.
an NBA champion, who's played 100 games now in his playoff career.
You know I love Drew Holiday.
One of 18 in the NBA.
Easy,
Active players.
Easy,
who have played
Kevin.
100.
Easy, Kevin.
That's Chuck.
I'm glad you had the right 3 of those.
Whoa.
So what's KD up to tonight?
Kevin Durant's in the building at the practice facility this morning. I'm told that he's continued his round-the-clock rehab on that left ankle of his. In Game 3, it was noticeable that he wasn't on the bench, but Ime Udoka told us reporters that he's actually was doing some underwater treadmill work as the game was going on. That same type of rehab has continued into Sunday, and the good thing about Game 4, it's a late tip-off, so he has even extra time to try to get his body right. Now, make of this what you will. Amen Thompson was asked about an hour ago how KD is feeling, and he said, to be honest with you, I don't know. So whether that means KD's been doing all of his rehab away from the team or the team hasn't really necessarily been checking in on him, that's another dynamic to look for as we head towards tip-off.
Dave, any indication from the Lakers if Luka or Austin Reeves are any closer to being able to play?
You know, Austin had a oblique injury that was supposed to have a 4 to 6 week recovery window. He's just past basically 3.5 weeks right now. It was surprising to some folks around the team that he was upgraded to questionable for Game 3. He was able to go to the arena yesterday for some shots. He's still questionable for Game 4, and I imagine just like he did for Game 3, he'll get out there on the court, see how things feel, check in with the medical staff, check in with the coaching staff in the front office, and they'll make a decision. But when you're up 3-0, there's no need necessarily to try to rush him back for today's game. As for Luka Doncic, he's back from Spain after getting treatment on that hamstring. He's around the team. He is in Houston with the team, but there's been no progression in terms of his on-court work. He did some very light shooting in LA before the team got to Houston, but there's still some time before we're going to start circling a calendar date when he could be back on the court in an actual game.
Dave McMenamin, the support staff game not nearly as compelling as the pregame in Portland, but thank you for the information. We appreciate you. How do you shake that Game 3 off if you are the Houston Rockets? That seemed to me to be devastating, Shaq.
They definitely gave that game away. Lack of concentration down the stretch. You got to play with more energy. Listen, Turkish Terminator play well, some of them play well. They play well most of the game, but listen, 30 seconds, up 6. You can't make those minimal mistakes. Like right there, Marcus Smart.
That's one.
Right here, veteran player right here. He knew the guy was hungry and all on him.
Oh, that's the same play.
No,
Bam.
2 mistakes in one.
Yeah,
yeah,
2 mistakes.
bad pass and
right here.
There's 3.
Got to put that ball in front of you. So, there's just a lack of concentration.
Nobody rushing back. Yep, gotcha.
And then LeBron and the battle-tested Lakers took advantage of it.
Ernie,
Yes, Charles.
number one, that was one of the worst choke jobs I've ever seen. But the one
Ever?
Yeah, this is one of them. But the one good thing about the Rockets, Houston has one of the best airports in the country.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, they got 2 airports there. They got Intercontinental
And they got Bush.
Hobby. So tomorrow morning, they're going to be able to get a great plane trip to a great destination.
Well, they're not going to Galveston?
So you saying it's over?
It's hell yeah, it's over. Wait, Kenny, you
Send them to
think
Galveston,
it's
Chuck.
over?
I think the Lakers will win the series, but I think the Rockets will win tomorrow.
Tonight.
I mean tonight.
Playing tonight.
Okay, they might win tomorrow. They're not gonna win today.
They win tonight. I think the one thing that because the inexperience is what made them lose. I think the inexperience might help them tonight. Meaning, like, saying that we're inexperienced, we're trying to get a win, and we're trying to have some salvage. And if Kevin Durant does come back, there would be a shot in the building of energy. But again, I wouldn't say choke. I just say it's inexperience of understanding time, score, and what to do. And when you become in those situations, because at one time, before we were Clutch City, you know what they called us? Choke City. Mm-hmm. And we were Choke City because we lost 2 games. We were up 20. They came back on both games, up 20 in the second half, and the Phoenix Suns beat us, and they were calling us Choke City. And we changed the narrative. We were down 3-1 and changed the narrative. So they could change the narrative, but that is an inexperience of what to do and close out a game more than anything else.
Yeah. And talk about
get them some good flights. You know, they might deserve to go to Galveston. If they don't quit.
Talk about it, Chuck.
If they don't quit today.
Talk about it, Chuck.
If they get blown out by 20 and pack it in, we're going to send them to Galveston.
Yep.
Yes.
And what's
I agree with that.
You heard the term battle tested a couple of times as LeBron was talking.
Nice people.
This will be 296, career playoff game 296
wow.
for LeBron James, 112 for Marcus Smart as the Lakers look for a sweep of the Houston Rockets.
Trey, you're 100% right.
I didn't watch the live
lying,
game.
man.
I watched the repeat.
Stop lying.
There it is. I watched the repeat.
Come on.
I watched the
Why you
repeat.
tell a lie on national television?
I didn't watch the live game, fool.
Celtics have a 2-1 series lead over the Philadelphia 76ers. Jason Tatum had 25 the other night. So did Jaylen Brown. But look, this is a tight game. And this play really swung the pendulum in favor of Boston. Derek White did not have a great night shooting the ball, but he always makes the play. He gets the offensive rebound. This is eventually going to wind up in the hands of Tatum, and he will cash out for
Hands up.
3. And suddenly a 1-point game with 2:19 becomes a Celtic win, 108-100. Look, Philly's given them a battle. You agree?
They trying hard.
Yeah.
You know, listen, you know I love Maxey and I love VJ. They just don't have enough. Those 2 kids are playing as hard as they can. They're competing. The game is 6-1. The Celtics, they can go through those cold stretches on the threes, which they did in game 2. But they just got a better team, more depth than the Sixers. The Sixers doing the best they can under the circumstances. You know, they're in that organization is in trouble.
Which one?
Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, because as great a player as Joel Embiid is, he can't stay healthy. And he's there for another couple of years, and Paul George's there for another couple of years. But Max and VJ are doing the best they can, but the Celtics are just a better team.
Doesn't it make you wonder, though, and this is the question that's asked 8 billion times, if Joel Embiid were healthy, how would this series look?
If Charles, I ain't gonna say it, but I mean, we don't know. We'll never know. You know, he hasn't been healthy for a long time, and it's unfortunate because, you know, he was one of my favorite players. I remember 3 or 4 years ago we was talking, you know, him and Joker back to back as, you know, who is the best big man in the league. But, you know, we can't rely on ifs. You know, they are playing hard, just not good enough. And but, you know, Boston has to do a better job of not fiddling around with teams, and if they want to win another championship, they got to put lesser teams away early.
Boston, to your point on the threes, plus 42 in this series from the promised land.
Yeah, I have to disagree. I have to agree with Charles, is meaning just too much to overcome on a nightly basis. Can you do it on a night? Yes, but on a nightly basis, no. Boston Celtics have a complete basketball team. They are one of the favorites to possibly win an NBA championship this year. And to answer your question about Joel Embiid, that would be the same thing if we said, if this was happening to Joker 3 years ago, and we say every year he gets hurt, what would Denver be? We would never know, because the guy, Joker, stays healthy, Embiid can't. They were neck and neck as the best 2 players in basketball. They had the same impact on the game. One won an MVP, the other would win. They had the same impact. They do not have that because of health.
And Fox joining us from Portland. Swiper, thanks a lot for taking some time with us, man. Appreciate you.
No problem at all.
So you guys found another gear there in the third quarter. What was the key to finding it?
I think we took good shots. I think that's where it started. We took good shots. We kept them out of the paint. That's where it started for us, and we just rode that momentum. And in the first half, we turned the ball over. We didn't take good shots. They got out in transition, and I think that was the most points they scored in a half this series. So, no wonder they were up.
Darren, we always talk about, San Antonio, the culture. I like to call it the system. When you guys were down by 17, what was the message from the coaching staff and veterans like yourself and Harrison Barnes to the youngsters? What did you say for the guys to come back out?
We need to get back to the way that we are used to playing. That's all it was. It wasn't that we were, missing shots or just, the natural things that happen in basketball. We weren't playing the right way. That's what it was. It was black and white. We knew what we needed to fix. Third quarter, we came out. First 5 minutes, we hit first. We passed the ball. We got good shots. We kept them out of the paint, and that's what made the game turn around. If we weren't making shots, so be it. That happens in basketball. But we weren't playing the right way in the first half.
You and Harrison are actually the only two guys actually ever been in the playoffs pretty much on this team. Have you talked to Victor was so excited talking to Malika after the game. He was excited for his first road playoff game. Have you had any conversation with these guys? Because obviously when y'all start playing against better competition, the intensity is going to ratchet up. How are you and Harrison talking to the young guys about it?
Yeah, I think it's funny. We actually played Golden State the game before All-Star break, and they came out. They got up, I think, like 18 or 19. They were extremely physical. Refs weren't calling the fouls. And in the huddle, we told them, this is what the playoffs is going to feel like. They're going to scratch. You're going to hold. You're going to get hit. And refs are going to swallow their whistle. That is what it is. Refs say that, the NBA says that they don't officiate the games differently in the playoffs. We all got eyes and we can see it. So I think that is what prepared us. And then once we started getting down the stretch of the season, we told guys, this isn't what games are going to feel like. You're going to come in, you're going to get hit, you're going to look at them, they're not going to say anything. You're going to ride the wave of the crowd. I think us having a home game for the first game of the playoffs was great for us because you kind of don't know how people will react on the road. I think we were able to settle in fine, and I think they've been great. We got dogs on this team. Regardless of what they don't know, they go out there, they have instincts, and they play the game.
What's interesting is that you guys have, at least against Portland, you have a winning record when Wemby doesn't play. How does your role change when he's in the lineup or out the lineup, one as a team and individually for you?
Yeah, obviously when he's in there, he does so much for us that we feel that role whenever he's out. He protects the rim, he shoots threes, he catches lobs. Whenever you don't have that, you're not going to just get that production from one player. So we all feel like we have to do more. He hadn't played against Portland until the first game, obviously. But as a team, he's missed 17 games. I missed, I think, 10 games. We've had guys that have missed games, and we have such a deep team that we were, especially throughout the regular season, we were able to sustain the way that we were playing. And if he's in or out, or if anybody else is in or out, we know how to play without we know how to play without somebody in the lineup. And I think that's why we were so good this year.
De'Aaron, last thing. When you made your debut in the NBA, Dylan Harper was 11. Stephon Castle was 13 years old. Describe for me the dynamic with you three, because everybody talks about those San Antonio guards. So what's the relationship like, and what have you shared with them? And what have you learned from them, even though they're younger?
Absolutely love them, man. They are, one, they're just great humans, and two, they're extremely talented players. But they start calling me Unc. I'm like, bro, I'm not even 30 yet. What are we talking about? But nah, man, they just bring light into a room. The dynamic is great because I have kids, but I don't feel like I'm that old yet. But those two, man, them and plus Carter, and this guy's 22. We have a young, old, veteran team. We got a good mix of guys. We got a good mix of guys, and I think everybody loves each other. Everybody wants to see everybody else succeed, and that's why whenever we were playing that way in the first half, we're like, that's not the right way to play. And we came back out, guys started moving the ball. Dev, I think, was big for us in the third quarter, and you start seeing the love and appreciation that everybody has for each other.
Hey, Unc, thanks for taking a few minutes with us. We do appreciate that. It's 28-year-old De'Aaron Fox joining us here on Inside the NBA. Nice going on Game 4, and a huge Game 4 it was for you with 28, 6, and 7. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, we got some breaking news. Joel Embiid will return tonight, says Shams Charania. Game 4 against the Celtics, 2 weeks after surgery for appendicitis.
How serious is that, Shaq?
It's a minor surgery, a right incision right there on the hip.
Yeah,
And
but it is
surgery, right?
Minor surgery.
It is surgery.
Yeah, but it's a minor surgery.
Minor when you're not getting
yeah, it's about a surgery if it's on somebody else.
Meantime, how does this impact Philadelphia tonight?
Philadelphia's in trouble. I don't think Philadelphia can beat Boston. Number one, I don't think Joel, I hate saying it, I don't know if he can be effective. Probably ain't been able to run for 2 weeks and had surgery. I don't think you just run out there and gonna be effective. I mean, basketball, man, conditioning matters. And like I say, he had surgery first. He hadn't been able to work out more than likely. So the notion he gonna come back, but the Celtics just got a better team. I told you, I love Maxey, I love VJ, but I think the Celtics gonna finish this off in 5.
I have to agree with Chuck. I think the Celtics know the situation at hand, and I don't even think they'll worry about Joel Embiid. They just have to continue to do what they do. And I think, having Embiid back in the lineup is going to slow Philadelphia down a little bit because they're going to waste time looking for him.
Kenny?
Well,
this going to be good.
no. Anytime you have a player of his magnitude, he is a magnet, meaning like you have to pay attention and you may have to double. So you just can't say, oh, Joel Embiid is playing, we're not going to double him. We're just not going to think that he's Joel Embiid from 2 weeks before the surgery.
Double him where? On the three-point line?
He goes in the box, he goes on the three-point line. So you have to pay attention to him. So your game plan has to be somewhat cautious. You might not be as tactical early, but you have to be cautious that this guy could get rolling. You don't want him to get rolling.
And I disagree with that. I think that'd be bad coaching because he hadn't played basketball.
So you think ignore the fact that he's Joel Embiid?
Yes.
And just let him play one-on-one?
Because he won't. You say get rolling, he won't be in condition enough to get rolling. He hadn't played basketball. What you think he gonna put on a do-no-so performance? He gonna get 40?
No, I just saw, but I did see a guy from Boston come back from an ACL and didn't play all season, and his first game back was pretty effective. And you needed to pay attention. And when I'm talking about Jason Tatum.
Tatum had went down to the G League, had been practicing for a month.
This guy only been out 2 weeks, Chuck. He's not been gone.
He had surgery and ain't played in 2 weeks.
Minor surgery.
Stop
minor.
There's no such thing as
Let us see. We'll see how that
develops tonight. He didn't have an ingrown toenail.
In Philadelphia. Meantime, here's the other breaking news. Durant expected to miss Game 4 against the Lakers with a bone bruise in his sprained ankle, which would sideline him 2 to 3 weeks in season. He's had around-the-clock treatment to play, but has not been cleared by doctors. I saw an underdog, correct me if I'm wrong, on the latest NBA injury report at 5:45 that he was out. No doubt. Yeah, so Houston trying to dodge a sweep against the Lakers and no KD.
Well, the Rockets are definitely going to come out and play with desperation. They have to. The game was on the line. I used to love our slogan, win or go home. Definitely gotta and better win this game. But the Lakers should not mess around, should not be comfortable with our 3-0 lead. Last game, the Rockets should have won, but things happen where you were able to win. So, this game will be more about the Lakers than it is more about the Rockets for me.
Austin Reeves, by the way, still listed as questionable.
Wait, that'd be stupid for him to play.
I'm just saying he's still listed
I understand, but that would just be stupid. I mean, if he's going to come back, it would be just like they're up 3-0. And if it was 2-1, that'd be different. But to play him in Game 4, that would just be stupid. But this series is over, man. This is a sweep. This is a wrap. This game, they go 1-2-3 Cancun, first thing tomorrow.
Wow. Well, the one thing that you're if you're a Laker fan, you're happy to see is there are guys who, when they give him more responsibility, they can handle it. Marcus Smart being one of them. Someone who was supposed to just come in and you're going to be the defensive stopper when guys get rolling, and we're going to get a ball at Austin Reeves and Luka and to LeBron, and you just spread the floor. And now he's shown that he can also play make. So you could add that element when one of those come back, and even when both come back, the fact that he can still play make at this stage of his career, which I don't know if they thought he could do, because without him doing what he's doing, and as great as LeBron is playing, they are not 3-0 against the Rockets without Marcus Smart
Kennard's
playing.
been great too.
Yeah, Kennard's been great.
Smart 11 steals, 5 blocks in the series, in addition to scoring 20 and
It's time for
EJ's Meal Satellite.
Presented by No One.
Ernie?
unsullied by sponsorship, you might have heard, since
1989.
Thank you very much, Dr. O'Neill, and your 2 appendixes. So there was an interesting article. The Athletic is great. Read The Athletic. I love The Athletic.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason Quick had an article after the Denver game last night. It said, Nikola and the Nuggets face more than just a brief controversy in Minnesota. Someone stole my underwear, Jokic announced, and part alarmed, part panicked, and part irritated. So we were saying, someone stole Joker's underwear. Who do we assign to that story to get to the bottom of it? Shams Charania.
Oh, okay.
Hey, EJ, turns out the situation in Minnesota was a false alarm, and the Joker was able to find his underwear in the locker room post-game. But my sources are telling me that there have been some reported incidents where items have gone missing from the lockers in the Atlanta area. And in fact, one of my sources just sent me this startling security footage taken just this afternoon.
Yeah,
Wait, does that guy look familiar?
that's Underdog.
How you know that's Underdog?
There ain't nobody that small in this locker room.
Well, Alex the same height.
No, Alex is not that. That's Underdog all day.
Wait, who's stealing albums? First of all, who got Shrek in their damn locker?
You?
I don't have no damn Shrek in my locker.
That's Shaq.
Fine, Emmy.
That's Underdog.
Let me
He's
see.
got on the same outfit he had today.
I want to see the facial recognition.
No, all you have to do is look at the outfit he had on.
He's
How
stolen
about
some
this?
Icy Hot, and he's got an Emmy.
Is that a Twinkie?
That's out of your locker.
What album is that, by
That's
the way,
the
Underdog?
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert album. Greatest hits.
It's what he's got on it.
You got Shrek in your locker? Oh. I mean, you got a Shrek mug.
Boombox in there.
Oh, yeah, that's Kenny's locker.
Yeah.
Hand on his knees.
Hands on your knees.
That's Chuck's locker.
No, I brush my teeth a lot. Y'all know that.
No, look, Chuck has the cleanest locker I ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna let
You
him
know
do this
Chuck's
to
a clean fanatic.
No,
My
you
locker's
OCD.
always clean.
He is OC past D.
Yeah.
I just like to be clean, man.
No, that's past D, man. It's
Chuck,
ridiculous.
how many kids I got?
12.
You want to meet one of them?
Yeah.
Dito, come here.
Dito,
Hurry
come
up.
on up.
Run, man. We only got 5 seconds.
This is your boy, son.
Hey.
I'm gonna take somebody
That's
else.
a wrap for Inside
That's a good-looking
the
kid
NBA.
right there.
Yes.
For Kenny, Chuck, and Shaq, Ernie Johnson. Hey, hockey straight ahead. Tampa Bay and Montreal.
Come on, Tampa Bay. I need a win.
Now give me my money.